When I was younger, I refused to live a life of compromise. I just knew early on that I was not going to be one of those people that compromised on what I wanted to fit into the society. I refused to do it. And I felt a tension inside myself because I felt like, well, you're not allowed to do that. You have to compromise. You have to, unless you're good enough. Unless you're good enough. And if you're good enough, then you don't have to compromise because you make enough money for yourself or other people, or you're so good at what you do that it doesn't make any difference. So you get to be one of those special people. And I thought, well, no, I'm not going to play that game. I'm not compromising anyways. But I felt like I can't decide that. I have to go along, or I've got to get good enough that I can be special. And then I can do whatever I want and get money. It's easy to not compromise if you don't want any money. If I want to be broke, I can do whatever I want. But the idea is, how do I get a lot of money and live the life I want and not compromise for anything? That's the challenge. And the pain of business has been resolution of that challenge. And I've done this, and I've been doing it my whole life, and without permission. And that's the hard part. It's without permission because people don't like this approach. So I'm supposed to go along with the rules, and I won't, and I can't, and I don't. And I remember one of the first rules was uh, you get 2 weeks vacation. And I thought, says who? 2 weeks vacation? 2 weeks? That's it? I'm going to work for you for a year, and I'm going to get 2 weeks vacation, and I got to work my way up so I get more vacation? Screw that. Screw that. Well, that makes me an entitled little brat. But I wasn't an entitled little brat. I didn't grow up as an entitled little brat. I did dishwasher shifts in restaurants. I was a busboy. I worked at McDonald's at the counter. I bagged groceries at a grocery store. I stocked shelves at Kmart when it was in business. Um, I'm not an entitled brat, but my belief was no, I'm not doing that. The pain of business. How do I get through the pain of this society that thinks that's normal? That 2 weeks. So I'm going to give you all my energy, all my creativity, and my heart, my soul, my intelligence for money. And then you're going to give me 2 weeks vacation. And then I get to work my way up in your system based on your rules. And you're going to tell me how to live. Screw you. No, I'm not doing it. And the way out was be smart enough to get good enough grades where you can make more choices. So people are coming to you. How do you get in the elite? That's how you do it in the United States. You got to have good enough grades, family connections, or already have a shit ton of money or from your family. Then you can do it and you can write your own ticket. But you got to be brilliant analytically. So I call it analytical organizers, the analytical organizers. And then you take the tests. All you have to do is take the tests. And then I'm like, I go to Yale Law School. All right, I'll do that. Or maybe I'll go to London School of Economics. So I'll do that. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, maybe I could be an entrepreneur. It's not even an entrepreneur. Somebody's going to give me money. I already have a ton of money. And now I'm going to go do this thing. And I don't want to do it anymore. I'll go back and work at McKinsey. I'll go work in a consulting firm. I'm like, I didn't have that those choices because I wasn't smart enough to do the tests. It was just tests in politics. Play politics, be smart enough to pass all the tests and get to the top of that hierarchy, top 1% or above, and then play the politics or have family connections. I'm like, well, I don't have the family connections, but I'm a great networker, great at networking. It wasn't good enough. But I'm like, I am not going to get stuck in the middle of some bureaucracy working my way up. I'm not doing it. 2 weeks vacation. Are you kidding me? And then I have to fill out all your forms and follow your rules. It's not going to happen. It's not going to, but how am I going to make money? That's the dilemma. How to remove yourself completely from politics at work is an inside job. That's what I learned. The pain of business is the pain I create in business. If I'm going to be a business owner, if I'm going to be a solopreneur coach or consultant, or if I'm going to be an entrepreneur and create something new, the pain of that business I create. I don't have to play by any of the rules. None of these rules matter. None of them are real. They're made up. The belief that they were real and I had to play by those rules was my confusion because I didn't play by them and I succeeded. And I had to do a lot of things I didn't want to do, that I did not want to do at all. But I learned to do them and I actually learned to like doing them despite the feeling of heavy lift pain from doing those hard things. For many business owners, entrepreneurs, and service providers, coaches, consultants, whatever it is, the pain of work lies underneath the surface, leading to feeling stuck in routine, predictable patterns, and political dynamics. That life is optional. You do not have to live that way. It's based on belief, particularly if you're like my age. So people who are younger now, they're freed more and more from this stuff because they see through it, because they know it's bullshit, because they see what happened to people my age. And they're like, I don't want that. You're right. Don't play by these rules. They're made up. Don't allow yourself to be a victim of the hierarchy and the feeling you have to be in the elite because it doesn't exist. There is no such thing as the elite. It's made up. People decide based on their own mind. Oh, I want to go up there. There is no up there. The people up there are miserable. A lot of them. Some of them are not, some of them are. It doesn't make any difference. The pain of work is your pain of work. My pain of work was my pain of work. Lying underneath the surface, dealing with that led to freedom. Getting out of the predictable patterns and the political dynamics of the world that have nothing to do with me anyways, that I don't have to play. They can play them and I can watch. That's more entertaining than being sucked into it. How? Ending the divisions inside my own mind and ending the divisions inside your own mind is the answer that leads to politics at work. Ending the decisions inside your own mind, those divisions lead to the politics at work. You're creating it in your own mind. It's your own thought process, opinion, belief, and conviction comes from my thinking process. And I create the division and the pain at work. I created for myself. No one did it to me because there aren't any rules. That's not real. Society has all these rules. It's just made up for its society's own convenience. But the people in it who behave, who go along, are stuck. And if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or free of this stuff, because you just notice it and you know it's bullshit, you can have anything you want. When you're free of the division you're creating in your own mind, that's step one. At least the decision to become free. Step one, week one, decision to become free of the prison I've created for myself. I love this line from Maya Angelou. I know why the caged bird sings. I know why, she said, the caged bird sings. So do I. I know too. When you know why the caged bird sings, you're free. And that's what she said. And I was like, wow, she nailed it. What a great line to just explain this politics of division that I created in my own mind of this group against that group and me against this group and this idea against this idea and my idea against your idea. That's the prison. Now I'm in a cage. Who put me there? It was me. This is a simple method that I'll share that gets you out of the frustration that comes when you don't feel connected. What is the opposite of feeling divided? Feeling connected. Where? With myself first. I can't feel connected into the world unless I'm connected with myself. Then I'm divided. I can't feel connected at work or at home or with my business if I'm disconnected from myself. I can't. It starts inside. What's inside turns into the reality I get to live in. And if I'm disconnected inside, my entire life is chaos and craziness and disconnection and a feeling something's missing, the feeling of separation that something's missing. How do you get through that? It's very simple. It's actually very simple. And I'm just going to give you 5 stages that you can use right now to end the division inside your own mind. And you can do it permanently, although it takes time, but you can. So, one is know exactly what you want, exactly what you want, why, and who matters the most. And all you have to do is use simple daily methods and practices that focus less. And this is the hard part for us, getting somewhere faster. If you focus on getting somewhere faster, you're going to keep separating from yourself. There'll be more division in your life. If you're focusing on getting somewhere faster and spend more time focusing on getting connected to yourself. That does not mean doing a walkabout, an ayahuasca weekend, or going and living in a hut in Tibet. You can go do those things, but that's not what I'm talking about. All you have to do is notice what's going on right now, and you can do this immediately. Know exactly what you want, why, and who matters the most, using simple daily methods and practices that focus less on getting somewhere faster and more on being connected to yourself. I'm backing up because the AI clips from Restream, I'm like right there. And some lady on YouTube is like, back up. So I was like, all right, now I can't read my monitor. 2, stay engaged with the people in your life instead of being disconnected from them, like I tend to do. Maybe you do too, at work and at home in a new way, a new way. And that way will come clear if you pay attention to it and say, oh, I'm going to stay engaged with people as opposed to go somewhere because I got to get over here. I got to get this money or I got to get this thing worked. I got to solve this problem. Stop doing that and start paying more attention to connection to the people in your life at work and at home in a new way. And over time, it removes the divisions. Those divisions inside me is what leads to the politics, hidden agendas, and confusing work situations. And if I'm divided inside myself, there's other people around me who are completely confused and don't have a connection to themselves. And I let them into my life, and now I got to live with them. And if I'm all disconnected, I'm going to get all screwed up by them because I let that happen. I don't have to do that. That's up to me. If I stay connected to myself and other people, I don't have to go through that. There are no politics. Then it's just their stuff. And I can see it clearly. And I'm like, oh, you'll work through that. Can I help? No. Okay. We're good. 3, focus on vision from purpose. Focus on vision from purpose, leading you to shut out negative energy, dissenting voices, and people who drag you down, even when you must engage with them as partners or customers. It's going to happen. You can get to the point where you don't have anybody like that in your life anymore, which is kind of what's happened with me. but you're going to have to go through a long transition perhaps before you can get rid of all those people. That took me 5 years to get all that out of my life. Um, how? Focus on vision from purpose. Where is that? You can't go get it somewhere. So the idea of I'm going to go run and get it doesn't work. I'm going to stay in the division, the politics, the confusion, and I'm creating pain at work and at home. Myself, I'm creating that. Instead, if I focus on vision from purpose, it's inside me. So it's always right. It's me. It's my destiny unveiling itself in the world, a vision from purpose in the form of a business and in the form of a company, some kind of an enterprise that I've created. That lasts forever and it's permanent. And when you do that, all this, think about stars aligning. That's exactly what's happening. Stars are aligning. 5, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Allow yourself not to know the answer. Big problem. Give up control. Big problem. And avoid opinion. Biggest problem. Which removes obstacles, suffering, and frustration. As even the most difficult political situation becomes simple. Why is our society so screwed up? Why? It's very simple. We don't want to not know the answer. Our culture, the modern world I'm talking about, not just the United States, but in the modern world, our mind wants to know the answer. We don't get to know the answer. It's not possible to know the answer. Allow yourself to not know the answer and you will know freedom. You'll know why the caged bird sings. Give up control. There is no control. If I try to control everything, if I try to control anything, I create suffering and pain in my own business, in my own life, inside myself. And then I bring that around everywhere I go. And then everyone else has to get to deal with it, that has to deal with me. You don't have to do that. There is no control. We don't need control. Everything's fine. Give up control. And this is the biggest one today, I think, is avoid opinion. Avoid opinion. It's almost impossible to even talk about right now because we built an entire economy on opinion. It's that big right now. And everybody's out there. I call it bloviating. I looked up a word in the dictionary, bloviating. It's endless opinions that never end. It doesn't mean anything. They're just barfing out and projecting their confusion out into the world on social media at scale everywhere. We're all doing it. It's exhausting. It's just exhausting. And I had to just stay away from it for a couple of years and use it for business. But I'm like, I can't listen to all these people. But I went back in now and I'm okay because I have a connection to myself. So it doesn't bother me. Every once in a while, I get worn down, but I'm using it to my advantage for business purposes. You can do that. Nobody's opinion matters. It never has in history. We're in a period of time, this marketing era, where all of a sudden opinions become important. Why? Because there's a hidden agenda. So the opinion being projected by somebody is designed to get you to do something they want you to do. So you buy their stuff or believe them. And it's painful to be around it. This is why people are so exhausted, I think. At least I could say for myself. Protect yourself against that. You don't have to listen to it. The work is realizing you don't need an answer. You need connection to yourself and other people. You don't need an answer. The answers will come. You need to give up control because you can't control anything anyways. And you give up control to what? Breath. Slow down. Connect into the moment. And avoid opinion means I've been thinking about it like this. So instead of an opinion, which I tend to immediately give because I'm triggered and then I give an opinion, it's useless. Instead of doing that, I'm thinking, well, what else do I do? Well, it's very simple. It's connect with myself and the other person, ask, ask myself and the other person for clarification around whatever it is we're connecting about, and then share how I feel with myself and the other person. And that's it. Now I don't need opinions anymore. Find your pathway from purpose through attraction into positive emotion, diving into your desired life and business experience by bringing a powerful brand without competition forward. This pathway is the pathway of individuation. It's the pathway of realization. It's the pathway talked about in the sutras of these ancient traditions. It's the same pathway. Find your pathway. That's what they're saying. Find your pathway. They're not saying follow my pathway, and the Buddha or the yoga leaders, they're not up on social media with a signature method and some kind of a sales pitch using persuasion marketing. They didn't do it like that. It's not about how they did it, it's how it works. They're transmitting wisdom into the world of how it works. You want to pay more attention to that stuff. Those particular traditions are too complex for me. I've spent a lot of time with them. I don't want to learn Pali and Sanskrit. I got pretty deep, but there's other ways to learn this. Find your pathway, what resonates with you. If that stuff resonates with you, go down that road. If other stuff resonates with you, go down that road. It's got to resonate or it's wrong for you. Find your pathway from purpose is inside. Your purpose is inside. And then the pathway into the world from that purpose is yours. And that's the work. And that's business. Through attraction. This is called synchronicity. I don't have to force client relationships. I don't have to force results. I don't have to make the content work. I don't have to look at all the KPIs and the metrics and stare at them all day long. You can if you love it. That means you're supposed to do that. I hate it, so I don't do it. I like making the content. I don't like figuring out how it's going to work or paying attention to the metrics. Your attraction mechanism will be automatic. It's based on frequencies. I hate this language, but as you raise your vibration, it's true, but it sounds like a YouTube ad. You'll start to know the synchronicity system because it'll just work. And then you'll find your people. That's attraction. It's automatic. Law of attraction is automatic. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to learn how to use the law of attraction. It just works. What you do have to do, though, however, is find your pathway through purpose, from purpose. Move forward on a pathway inner directed from purpose. That works. And then that law of attraction stuff happens automatically. That leads into positive emotion. And if you stay in that positive emotion, there's less separation and division you're creating or I'm creating in my marketplace. So now I'm not over here alone, but there's a moment where this is a confusing one to explain, but if I'm going to dive into my desired life and business experience, there will be traveling alone periods where people don't like you and you're getting rid of old stuff you don't need. That's what's going on. You're with the wrong people. That's what I found. When I was playing the content creator celebrity game on LinkedIn, I was with the wrong people. It was a temporary right people thing. The coaching networking thing, wrong people, temporary right people. When I realized it was the wrong people, there was a pain of separation from them. And then I had nobody. And I went my own way and I did my own thing, honestly, because of an interconnected pathway from purpose. And then by doing that alone, my calendar was empty and no money's coming in the bank account for a very long time. And I thought, okay, I don't know the answer. I've given up control and I'm going to stop forcing my opinion on other people because they don't understand what I'm saying. So I'm with the wrong people. So I'm going to allow myself not to know the answer. I'm going to give up control and I'm going to avoid this opinion. And then through automatic attraction systems, the right people started to show up in my life. And now they're here. And there's more coming every day. through allowing positive emotion to flow through me. That's what worked and works because that's how it works. And that's called, I think of that as diving into your desired life. You can't make it happen. You can't go rush over and get it. You dive into it head first, into your desired life and business experience. There's no disconnection between desired life and ideal business experience. It works together. It works together by bringing a powerful brand without competition forward. When you start doing this, there is no competition anymore. You don't see it. I know people are doing the kinds of things I'm doing, but I don't see competition. I see partnerships because I've built products that work for people who are really super successful and have communities and personalities, as long as they're not playing the persuasion marketing game, and then I won't partner with them. But if they're heart centered and they really did something for real and it's not just a bullshit factory, then I've got something to partner with them for. So the bullshit factories, I'm not worried about competing with because I think they're all going to drown over the next few years. And there's a ton of them. And I think people are sick of it. So I don't need to compete with those people because I'm going to win in the marketplace because they're on the wrong side of history and I'm going in the right direction. And other people who are going in the right direction are going to want to be part of it with me. And I'm going to want to be part of what they're doing because they're going in the right direction too. That's called being on the wave of change. As the old goes out, the new's coming in. You want to be with the new as it's coming in. And then there's no competition anymore. The personal acceleration pathway to success combined with business traction, knowing triumphs always over improving skills, mastering politics, or diving into competitive battles. This is what I've been around my entire life, and I just can't do it. Improving skills, mastering politics, or diving into competitive battles is what I was taught is business. I was taught that's normal, that my job is to become so skilled, other people like my skills and want to pay me for them. I was taught that. It's bullshit. It doesn't work because then they're in charge of me. So if I get enough skills and you like me, you'll pay me and then I can rise up in your hierarchy. Why would I want to do that? Mastering politics, same thing. So I got to get you to like me. I got to figure you out and how I can manipulate you so I get what I want from you and your world and your hierarchy. I don't want to live like that. I was taught that's normal. I knew it wasn't, but I was taught that's a normal way to do business. Or diving into competitive battles, same thing. I grew up with all this stuff too, like many of us. And this idea of, Coke versus Pepsi or AT&T versus Verizon or Facebook versus Google. People are meshed with that stuff all day long. Or, my business and then there's their business and like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to live like that. Diving into competitive battles all day long. I like competing. I like winning. I like being good at what I do. But what I don't want to do is give any oxygen to a competitive political battle with somebody else. Because if I'm doing it my own way through purpose, I'm going to win anyways. So it doesn't matter what they do. It's not even relevant at all. I'll succeed. Avoid drowning inside your own company. That's what I was doing sometimes. Fighting with competitors and trying to evolve your company using force methods and come home to yourself, letting the market come to you. That is possible for any human being to do right now. And you don't have to learn all these special methods and special skills. And you don't have to become some kind of a mystic. It's not necessary. Some of us are doing that. So we'll do it for you. You just have to be yourself. I'm in that energy. And so are some of the people around me, a lot of them. You don't have to be like us. It's not necessary. But you do have to avoid drowning inside your own company, creating a mess yourself. And you don't have to fight with competitors. They're not relevant at all. You're going to beat them if you're playing your own game. And you don't have to evolve your company into the modern age at all. Um, it will evolve itself, and the market will come to you when you figure out who you are and what you're there to do and why you matter. And then you'll zip up and you'll know exactly what work to do and what kind of actions to take every day. And it'll be fun, and you'll be in a sense of positive emotion, which is the guidance system